why when she called, she said his full name.
Go.
Because she has a restraining order against him. But if he wasn't there for the children's birthday, what would happen? What would happen if he wasn't there for little John's birthday, for little Jakey's birthday, for Jacoby's birthday? He didn't show his black ass up because he's not a good father. He's a deadbeat, and I'm going to make sure he's on child support. I'm going to ruin his life. But when he came over there the night before, and he had sex with you, you were fine with that. You got 3 children together. So something is positive there. Something is good there. You opening your legs for him. You open your legs for him, right? Okay, and you had 3 children by him. All back to back. Good-looking babies. Healthy children, right? And it says he has 3 children with her. So she must have other children too, and he might have other children. And it's like, she called that domestic violence, and when she called the police, she made sure she said his name so that that way they could do what? Pull up all the warrants on him, pull up all of his past on him, call the cops, and have all these things come out. Salakia. Go ahead, Dawon.
Salakia, what's so heavy about, what you're saying, and if I could, sir, the fact is that she calls the police, to keep him in check or keep him in line.
To do what? Say that again, now.
To keep him in check.
To do what?
To keep him in check.
That's not brotherhood, man. That's not brotherhood. You call an outside force, an outside nation, a heathenistic nation, the enemy, your oppressor, the devil on the earth. You call them to put him in check. Because I don't like what he doing. He getting ready to leave with my rental car. We just made love last night. And now he want to leave. Well, you arguing with the neighbor. Go ahead, Kyle.
It's like, and of course, I know that there's people out here right now listening to what's being said. And we're saying like, no, but did you listen, what was said? He had, assault, he had domestic violence, he had all these other things, right? More than likely, they're going to pull, once again, Esau's philosophy, psychology, and everything else, though, to justify the actions that she took. Oh, well, she couldn't have got away from him. Why? Because she was mentally scarred and whatever else, though. To justify, look, he brought this on himself. They're going to do everything to paint this in the worst possible picture, rather than, let it be in the place that it should be. You shouldn't be there for birthdays in the first place. And it tears down the brotherhood that we should have had.
And you know what's crazy, Who has the highest rate of domestic violence? Who has the highest rate of domestic violence? I'll take it a step further. Yep, you're right. White people. And what else?
Homosexual white people?
Before homosexual white people.
Oh, sorry. Very white people.
Yeah, yeah. Which profession?
Oh, police officers.
Cops have the highest rate of domestic abuse and domestic violence. Stay seated. Stay seated. The police have the highest rate. So we're calling the police, who have the highest rate of domestic violence, we're calling the police out. We're calling the police, who have the highest rate of domestic violence, to fix domestic violence. We asking the police, who beat their wife every single day, who get drunk. You ever watch a cop show or a movie about cops? Where do they go every day? Where do the cops go every day?
The cop bar.
To where?
The cop bar.
Thank you, They get drunk every day, every night. They get drunk every night. You know what happens when they go home? They rape their wife and beat her half to death. The military men, they come back over from Afghanistan, Iraq, or wherever they go and fight that war, and they shell shocked. They want to fight all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, John, can you please put your bowl in the sink? Shut the hell up, woman! He pick up the bowl, throw it, smash it up against the wall, throw the refrigerator over. She running through the house. He has post-traumatic stress disorder. And you know who hires him? You know who hires him? The police force hires him. Yeah. So when he gets that call, hello? Yeah, 911. Jacob Blake stole my rental car. He stole my car. Yeah. And if he got a bitch in it, please tell him don't come back home no more. So, Robert, now you're absolutely right. It's the police. The police give him a job. Right? And he just went to Afghanistan and just blew up Afghanistan and fights every day and gets drunk every night and rapes somebody every day and every night. So what's he going to do when he comes to the hood? When all he sees about black people and all his peers and co-workers say about niggas over there, woo! Niggas is gangs and set tripping every day, all day long. They just all bad. He looking for Jacob Blake. Oh my goodness, domestic violence warrant? Oh wait, a little drug charge here. He had some weed on him. Oh, we're gonna get this guy. And you got Officer Shesky over here, who never been with a woman a day in his life. Okay, he didn't make the team. You know why he didn't make the team? Because Tyrone made the team. Jamal made the team. Yeah, them brothers from the hood made the team. He didn't make the team. He went up to that list to see if he made the team. You remember them days, Star Wars? Your name was on that list. My name was on that list. You know whose name wasn't on that list? Officer Shesky. Go ahead.
Would they even arrest gang members?
No, they don't readily arrest gang members and drug dealers. They know everything about drug dealers and gang members. But this guy is a father. This guy's a father, a good father, who put his children in the car and said, I'm going to take them away because ain't nothing but fights going on over here. That's a good father. But nobody wants to hear the cause of a good black man. Nobody cares about the black man. The black man is at the goddamn bottom. The black man can't call the police and say, you know what, officer, my woman over here, what's her name, LaQuisha Booker over here, and she's arguing with all the neighbors, officer. I'm trying to tell her to calm down. I'm going to take the children away because I don't want them to be in a bad environment. You know the cops done hung up about 3-4 seconds ago. What the hell that got to do with them? They don't care. The cop won't show up on this. If the cop shows up, if they show up, they're not going to show up for no black man. Who the hell cares about niggas? Black men, nobody cares. Nobody cares. So, but as soon as they get that call, Jacob Blake, ooh, domestic violence, he's over there again. Let's get him, boys. Send 3 cop units over there. When her dumb behind don't say, we have a birthday party, we got children together, the children are here, the neighbor is yelling at me. It's basically about the neighbor, sir. Go ahead, Adam.
Sluggy, what's happy about all this is that, you know, the law and the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, all is encompassed in one, though, right? You know, so if we're forgiving of one another, you know what I'm saying, we would avoid half the problems that we have going on. We understand that sometimes, get the brothers.
Listen. You saying something heavy, but you saying it, you giving them an inch till take a walk off of it. You saying forgiveness, right?
God.
Why did this sister call the cops? Why did she call the police on Jacob Blake? Did he do something that needs to be forgiven?
Lie.
Right. He didn't break the law of the Most High. Why did she call the cops out? Say it. Say what.
She was trying to keep him in check, keep him in line.
But why? Because let me tell you, if a man says, let's have a threesome, he's more likely to get a threesome. If a man says, oh, it's a video that was around, this cat here in Syracuse. My man sent it to me. I was like, this is wild. He was trying to make an excuse as to why he had sex with other men because he was in prison. And you know who was sitting right next to him, defending it? His woman. She's not asking for forgiveness for that. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right? Man can be a gambler. He could be a drug addict. He could be an abuser. All that. Why she call the police on him? Thank you, sis. A lady. Another woman. He got that nice rental car that I got. Even though it's an SUV minivan, yet and still. He's going to pick up some other women up in that car. Right? Yeah. She doesn't want to forgive. You can't forgive the law if there is no law. Yeah. I mean, right. They're not even there, huh? Go ahead.
So yeah, I was more so referring to like the.
I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. Go ahead.
No, but I was referring more so to the other things that occurred. You know what I'm saying? You know, where it's like, if we understand, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, listen, you're pressing buttons right now. There's certain things that you just don't say. There's certain things that you just don't do, of course.
Forget it, Forget it.
God.
Forget it, Forget it. And a woman presses those buttons because she's threatened that you're going to have another woman.
Yeah.
That's the reason why she'll press buttons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're absolutely right. They're not raised right either. The man is not raised right. So everybody's pressing buttons, everybody arguing. But why don't you just be strong and not call the oppressor about it? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not that serious. It's not that serious, sis. All right? And it goes for brothers as well. It's not that serious, brother. It's not that serious. Now, I'm not saying that you don't have instances where the brother is beating the woman. That's wrong. That's wrong. I'm not saying he's going up her head, but that's made as if that's 9 out of 10 men just beat their woman. That's not true. That's not true. It's not. Right? It's not. That's not true. Black men just don't walk around just beating up black women. They create that story or that imagery or that narrative because they're trying to get us pitted against each other in everything. You can't see nothing without black men and black women just bumping heads against it. It's not that serious. It's not. Right? You want that man to stay in the house, sis? You got certain things that you can do. Be a brother to him first and foremost. And obviously there's some love there. There's a love there that he keeps coming over. You got a domestic, what'd you say? Domestic abuse warrant against the man. He ain't supposed to be over there, but he loves you enough to still come over. Restraining order, thank you, brother. To still come over there and deal with your monstrous ass. He's in the Midwest. He's in Milwaukee. You mean to tell me he can't just drive to Chicago and find someone, drive to Detroit, drive to Cleveland? He could just take a trip anywhere and get another woman, but because it's something about you that he still loves. You done called the cops on him 3, 4, 5 times. He done got locked up behind you. And he still got love for your stupid, simple behind. Y'all got 3 children together. God damn. Stop calling the cops and just anything. He's taking the rental car. I gotta take it back tonight. Black folks don't never take the rental car back on time. Who the hell takes the rental car back on time? We always take it back at night when we can put the key in the drop box. He's coming back. He got the kids. He got the boys. Go ahead, Doc. Say what you was about to say.
Nah, I bet that car really didn't go back that night. It was a police. It was a crime scene.
Yeah, with the blood of your men all in it, with your children watching and witnessing it. Let's have some brotherhood towards each other. How about that? The storm came down there. Shout out to everybody. Let's give them a hand. Captain Hunt in the southeast region, Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana. Shout out to all you brothers and sisters down there, because we got brotherhood. We check up on each other. We made sure we was all right in this storm. Plenty of food. Plenty of things we got. We gonna do. We got a little boat, just in case. We get on that little boat and paddle that little boat. In Texas, we did it. When they got hit with that cold storm, when the cold, Texas ain't never experienced no ice and snow. We was handing out food under all the bridges. Blankets to water. blankets, food, and most importantly, we telling everybody to come and get in this troop. Commander General Yohana said something heavy last night, boy. He said we don't stack milk crates up to do a milk crate challenge. We don't do that. We fill the milk crates up with food and feed the hungry and feed the homeless. Shout out to them brothers that got these, the Gardner Bar, St. Louis. What's my man in Nashville? Nashat? I keep saying his name incorrect. Nashville got a powerful one too. All over, man. Trinidad, Jamaica. Leave that alone. Leave it alone. Put it back. Put it back and leave it alone. Don't touch it. Food drives all over the planet. Giving out food. Black folks be surprised. These niggas giving out food? Oh, thank you. Because it's brotherhood, man. It's called brotherhood. And that starts at home. Sheesh. Excuse me. Salakia. I'm getting uptight about it. Drinking this coffee.
He said Blake put his child in the car and turned to face him. Shesky said he then grabbed Blake's arm to put him under arrest. And
why would you arrest a man and just put his children in the car? You gonna arrest him now? Obviously, you wasn't trying to arrest him, but he puts his children in the car?
Told Blake that he had a warrant.
They didn't say why they were there.
They didn't say anything to me.
Did they tell you that they had a warrant for your arrest?
No.
Some sort of struggle follows. Police believe Blake is reaching for a weapon more than once. Blake denies this. Police deploy a taser multiple.
Who's out there yelling at the cops? Who was that out? I'm gonna run this back.
Same one that called the cops.
Say that
Why they
again.
were there?
The same one that called the cops.
They didn't say anything to me.
Did they tell you that they had a warrant for your arrest?
No.
Some sort of struggle follows. Police.
She knew.
Look at her. Look at her. Get off of him! Don't kill him! Please! Stop! Get up! What you calling for?
She knew he had a warrant.
What you calling for? Why would you call the police?
Believe Blake is reaching for a weapon more than once. Blake
Look at the babies following. Look at the children all around.
denies this. Police deploy a taser multiple times. Blake pulls the taser prongs out of his skin. Officer Shesky and Blake end up in a physical altercation on the ground.
We see you walk away from the officer after they try to grab you.
I'm rattled, you know.
Yo, these cops is weak as hell, huh? It's 4 cops. It's 4 cops. They tase him up. You mean to tell me nobody could just get his hands behind his back and put the cuffs on him? If that's what you're trying to do? God damn. So you know they angry. You know they out for blood.
I realized I had dropped my knife. I had a little pocket knife. So I picked it up after I got off of him because they tased me and I fell on top of him.
With an open knife in hand that Blake says fell out of his pocket, he walks around the front of the vehicle towards the driver's side door.
What are you thinking at that point?
I'm not really worried. I'm walking away from them, so it's not like they're going to shoot me. I shouldn't.
What was the video that we watched, Doc? Prior to this video.
Sure.
Prior to this video, they got brotherhood for each other. They don't have brotherhood for you. Now, our brotherhood should be superseded. From now on, everybody call the ISUPK and not the police. Call the captain in your zone. Call the officer in your zone, in your area, in your state, in your city. Call them. Sis, if you're mad, sister, that he keeps taking the rental car and he keeps leaving and he ain't home when the babies is home and I had to do the birthday by myself, you call us and give us the brother number. Get you some marriage counseling. I don't think you want to do that. Because the marriage counselor is going to tell you to put that weed down. And ain't no more birthday. Can't do that. But look what happens.
Nigga picked it up. Only considering.
Look, he pulling on the man's shirt. He wants to murder this man.
What was going on? At that time, I wasn't thinking clearly.
You were thinking once you get the knife into the car, you were going to just say,
Throw myself to the ground and, put my arms behind my back. Because if they did it there and they killed me there, everybody would see it.
According to the Wisconsin Criminal Investigative Report, Officer Shesky says that Blake drove the knife towards Shesky's body. Blake denies this. Blake opens the car door, and at that moment, Officer Shesky grabbed the back of Blake's shirt and started shooting.
you said that we can just look at the video. The video tells everything. But there are going to be a lot of people who look at the video and say, in the video, you're walking away from the police. So why didn't he just stop and do what the police are asking him to do?
I couldn't hear that. All I heard was screaming. My ears was ringing, so it was all muffled.
If the police were fighting me, if they were tasing me, I would stop walking away from them, and they would have my attention.
I mean, I had not left or tried to run at that point. And when they
Listen. Do you hear what the Uncle Tom said?
Yeah.
Did you hear what the Uncle Tom just said?
I said, I will stop.
Listen, it's not a death sentence to run away from the police. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. It's not a death sentence. You understand what I'm saying? I was talking to a family member about this. He said he's getting ready to join the police force, and he said, yo, because if they running, why they running from me then? I go, because they scared of you. You run from things that you're afraid of. Why are you threatened at somebody running away from you? That makes no sense. But because you're an animal, because you're a beast, and you seek out blood, what does a dog do? You ever watch a dog? We in the hood. Let me tell you this happened one time. We did it every day, all the time. Okay? We did it all day, every day. We would go through the cuts. Remember that? We used to call them the cuts. We would go through the cuts. I'm on Palmer, which is 2 blocks down. And I'm playing basketball and football with everybody on Palmer. And they said, yo, man, you can just you go through the cuts. If you just run through the cuts, you're going to run in your own backyard. And I'm like, that's true. All right. I didn't know the right cuts. I guess I did it. I jumped over this fence, and it was just a dog right there in somebody's backyard. You ever see a dog, though? When you confront the dog's not moving at all. The dog's waiting for you. Right?
Good.
Because it's an animal, it's a beast, it only thinks like an animal. You ever see the dog like this? And you standing still? When you stand still, the dog don't move, right? It's waiting for you to move. It's waiting. Right? So then when I started running, because I'm like, I can't stand right here too much longer and have this stare-out contest with a goddamn Rottweiler foaming at the mouth. As soon as I run, what does the animal do? Pursue. Because it's an animal. Facebook, I'm trying to explain something, Facebook. YouTube, I'm explaining something. White police officers are animals. They're dogs. They feel as if they're threatened by you from you running. So he's running away, and the cop grabs his shirt, pulls him closer to him like, nah, your running threatens me. That's right, Sarah. Chase you. And he shoots the brother up in the back. And Uncle Tom goes, well, if it was me, I would have just stood there and stopped. No, you wouldn't. Who is this interviewer? And if he is, he's the biggest, strongest Uncle Tom that's been broken down in history. Who is the person interviewing?
Michael Strahan.
What did Michael Strahan do for 25 goddamn years?
Was it DN or linebacker?
He's a defensive end for the New York Giants. He has a sack record. He picks men up and slams them on their goddamn back. But you would run Michael Strahan? He wouldn't do that in the hood. Now, would he? Would he? If it was a nigga on the line in front of him, he going to do just like Jacob Brother said. Oh, he grabbed me. So instantly, my human instinct is to flee his arm off. Yeah, you're a man. You're human. You're a man. I would have just stopped there and took an arrest. Michael Strahan is a coon. He got good American money. Good morning, America money. You're a sucker and a loser for saying that. I would have stood there and I would have put my hands behind my back. But he has no brotherhood towards this brother. Has no sympathy or brotherhood towards this man. We need brotherhood, man. He should relate, feel empathy and sympathy for this brother because it's his brother. The white cops look at the white man and go like this while he getting spit at and yelled at and objects thrown at him and never pull the trigger, not once. No taser, no handcuffs, no nothing. There's nothing. He gets in his car and he drives off to his family. And he goes and beats his wife and his children with his devil behind. Meanwhile, Jacob Blake wants to protect his children and get his children away from this situation. And he gets shot up in the back. I'll go back to the video. I'm going to finish it up. I'm just saying this because about the storm that hit. And we need brotherhood just like when a storm comes through and hits.
He tased me, I had my hands up.
Officer Shesky's attorney says Blake was given every opportunity to comply, but he chose not to, and insists that, quote, the officers acted according to their training. According to records released in a Wisconsin Criminal Investigation Report, in the past, Blake has been arrested for attempting to flee police and for resisting arrest. These charges were dropped.
Why were the charges dropped? Why were the charges dropped? You know why? Because they didn't stand. They didn't stick. It means nothing. They dropped because it means nothing. And all the police department has the highest rate of domestic abuse, domestic violence. All those cops go home and beat their wives. We just gotta stop.
There are critics who are going to say, well, he's had run-in with the law in the past. He doesn't deserve any sympathy.
If you're a black person in America and you're not perfect, then they say, oh, it was justified. It's like our children have to be angels.
And we know your kids who were in the car. Have you had any conversations with them about this since it all happened?
I've been in court before. You cannot bring up. You ever heard that? You can't bring up another court case into this court. You can't. If the charges are dropped, you can't bring that up in court. The judge and the lawyers will say, what do they call that? It has to be crossed out. They make a stance and they say, excuse me, that has to be crossed out of the records or whatever. Strike that from the records. The water foul. That's exactly it. That has to be struck from the records. Why is it struck from the records? Because it holds no weight. There's no relevance behind it. We got to stop sitting around with Ben Crump. I'm not mad at Ben Crump, but I'm just saying, we got to stop sitting around and going, we ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. But we want to be like y'all, so why don't y'all stop? They're not going to stop. How about we just stop everything with them? Stop calling the cops on us. How about us stop celebrating these birthdays and doing all this stuff and doing all this? How about we just stop all of this? How about we don't have no weed charges? How about we don't have nothing ever again? How about we all get in the Isupk and all be perfect? Captain Azani, I said perfect. Ooh, you ain't right for saying that. Ooh, can you get that for me, Tyrone? And I'm going to cut it.
I've explained to him and broke it down to him, like, Daddy can die, but for some reason I didn't that day.
Did y'all hear that, man? It's BD perfect.
Go.
And oh, it was justified. It's like our children have to be angels.
And we know your kids who are in the car. Have you had any conversations with them about this sense at all?
Your kids is in the car. Your children watching this. I know your children gotta watch this and see this. Black people have to talk to their children about dying and death and being murdered by the police. We live a different lifestyle. We live in two complete different worlds. So black people need to wake the hell up and stop acting like we don't live in a different world. Stop following their world. Let's follow God's world. The world of this Bible. Our own world. The world of our King. Yahushua Mashiach. How about we do that? Stop pleading and begging murderers and thieves and rapists. What you say?
Oh, sluggy.
Okay. Go right ahead, Al.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
Be ye perfect. Say that again, because people don't believe it.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect.
That's it. Al. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and pass the class over to precinct officer One Bar. Give him my hand. Give him my hand. Clap it up.
Isupk security announcement. Brotherhood started out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the leadership of Commander Juniana, rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come into a school, they are off limits for 6 months. That is little only. They are here to share themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe is the commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10 means 10th in Hebrew, ma'ashera. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives to you, gives to a treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offer for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations. Monday, September 6th. That's this upcoming Monday, September 6th. Memorial blowing of the trumpet. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. Check out bulletin board in the back. Go to our website, www.isupk.com. If anyone wants to be a trooper